Way to be dramatic, Simba. I'm trying to start a video over here. Hello, weary travelers of the internet. I am Gail, as you may know. Welcome to the Kintsugi Rose. And before we begin with today's video, I wanted to formally apologize for disappearing. I know I said, oh, I'm gonna make a video every other Thursday. Be here for that. I'm not gonna be late, don't worry. And then life just, decided to sucker punch me for some reason. It wasn't bad stuff. Don't worry, I'm fine. But it was just you know what? You are now suddenly the most busy person on the planet. Good luck. And then I was like, oh, I'm doing so much stuff, I can't make a video. They'll be able to wait 1 week. And then it was another week, and I was like, no, I wanted to make another video, but I couldn't. But now, do not worry, I have other videos in the making, and I will not be late on those if I can help it. But then again, life might, sucker punch me again and, yeet me into the abyss. But I will try to be more consistent from now on, don't worry. Now, going into today's video, it was recently my birthday! Whee! I feel vain saying that out loud. I'm not trying to, gloat that it was my birthday, guys. And for my birthday, I decided that I want to gift myself something for my channel to, celebrate my birthday, because I don't know how to celebrate it if I haven't said my birthday date on the channel. So, what the heck am I gonna do to make this not awkward? And then I'm looking over and I see the empty YouTube channel page, and I'm like, you know what would make this look better? 100 more videos. But what else would make this look better? A new channel banner! So I quickly got to work on that. Now for my channel banner, I was naturally pretty indecisive because I know I'm gonna change it one day, but I feel like it's a big deal. So I was inspired by this artist whose name is Zandraart, I think. And it was a little fox crossing a log on a winter day. And I thought it was adorable, so I wanted to do that. One thing I haven't really shared on this channel, I guess, is animals. But I love animals, especially foxes. So I decided I'm gonna do a bunch of little fox, puppies. No, kits. That's what they're called, kits. I'm gonna do a bunch of fox kits crossing a log on a frozen river. I didn't want them all to be the normal orange one, so the first one I used was this really pretty white, pink, beige one. I don't know what they're called. I don't think they're Arctic foxes. They look like red foxes. They could be an abnormal version of a red fox, a genetic mutation of a red fox. And here you can see me messing with the proportions because I really wanted it to look good, and I didn't know how to make it look fit the text and logo area. But then I started working on a red fox, and this is the classic red fox, so that one was a bit easier to do. And there was one thing I really wanted about this was I wanted them to cross a frozen stream, but I also wanted one of them to be on the frozen stream. At first I was considering it being in the snow somewhere and just looking back, but I wanted it to be on the frozen stream, and I thought it'd be really funny if he was slipping and sliding and panicking because, it's frozen. I know there was a scene in Bambi where they did something like that. Also, I swapped the colors of the foxes at one point. The last one is a silver fox, which is extremely misleading because it's a black fox, but they call it silver because it's got silver whiskers all over it. So then I kind of struggled for a while with proportions, how I wanted the branch to look. Don't ask how in the middle of a pine forest there's just one curvy branch that doesn't seem to belong to any of the trees nearby. That's partially why I also didn't draw trees around them, because I couldn't figure out the logic of that one branch. Not branch, log. Why am I saying branch? That one log just sitting there. And at this point I did switch up the snow design because I really didn't like how the snow was looking. And also this is kind of a new style for me. I usually do line art. I usually do sketch, line art, and then color. I'm not used to color blocking. And then, of course, I needed to figure out how to make reflections on the icy stream because it looked way too much like water, and I didn't want it to look like the red fox was just like falling into the stream. Like, he's okay, everybody. It's perfectly safe. It's like super solid and frozen, which I tried to give that like look that it was a really solid lake by making it kind of like that lighter blue color. And instead of like such a dark blue that looks like it could have been, why do I keep calling it a lake? It's a stream water. Then I worked on the log for way too long. I couldn't figure out how to make the log look, and again, this is part of my like expectation that it has to look sharp and like defined. But the style I was going for is very similar to what I did in the post for Simba. Like Simba's little picture with the construction hat. And it's pretty much all just color blocking and there's no line art. So I was struggling with that a little bit. Here you see me refining some of the shapes of the foxes and adding like that classic white underbelly, and that goes onto the face a little bit, kind of like how Simba's white goes onto his face a little bit. And then I struggled with eyes for a while, apparently. Jeez, I gotta figure that out. I love seeing like one lopsided eye just appear and disappear. Watching these like speed paints are really funny sometimes. And then I just worked slowly to build up like the colors that I wanted. I didn't give him black ears. I figured I would just go for a more stereotypical like look for them. For the winter, I want to call it a marble fox, but I'm pretty sure this isn't a marble fox. If there's someone in the chat who knows a bunch about fox types and can help me, I would appreciate it. But yeah, the white fox-ish. I changed up the pose a little bit because it was slightly hard to figure out where it was standing. I got mad at one point, I just made it blotch. But yeah, now you can kind of see where that like the earlier pictures inspirations are coming in. It looks a lot more like the fox, because I gave it like that those brown speckles, and I still struggled with the leg forever. Come on, Gail, figure it out. You know how to draw legs. Come on. There we go. I figured it out. I don't think I liked the positioning of everything with that, because I was like, it looks like it's standing on a solid thing. So I kind of made it look like it's halfway stepping, I guess. It kind of looks like it's doing like a George Washington pose and it's staring off into the distance dramatically. And the little black one was really easy because all I just had to do was pile up some snow next to a head. I didn't really put much work into the little black fox. Now, for the trees in the background, I was really inspired by two artists, and I will link them on the page and I will put up how they drew pine trees. But I really love that like cutaway look, and just how it looks like they took the lasso select tool and like ripped out chunks of the tree. It just, oh, you can see me trying my own way. I got sick of it, worked on some snow for a little bit, and then I realized, okay, I can't really daddle anymore. I need to work on the trees. So as I was saying, I was trying to figure out how I wanted the trees to look, but I was inspired by these two artists. They did a really good job. I will link them below maybe, or I'll put their usernames below. I don't know how like crediting people on YouTube is supposed to work. Don't sue me, please. I just want your trees to look cool. But then I gave it these like frosted textures, and I tried to cut out the the not branches, the logs, like the middle bit of it. And I made them like blurry because they're in the distance. And then I changed this up the sky a little bit. This is the part where I tried this like weird lighting and shadow texture where I used the lasso tool. The lasso tool is not my friend in the slightest. I do not know how to work the lasso tool. It has never worked for me, usually when I try to paint or draw with it, but it worked this time. And then I gave the back trees shadows and the really far, like, forest trees in the really far back, I gave them, like, light and shadow too. And then I worked on this guy's eyeball for a while. I, at one point, asked my mom for some advice, and she said that the trees looked a little too bright and green. So they changed at some point. They go a little more blue. And then I added the shadows and triple checked that the positioning of the logo would look good on all devices. And that was it. That was how I did my banner. I really loved the look of these guys. I'm planning on doing a lot more animal drawings because I did a little bit of that and I really loved them. Maybe these three will become reoccurring characters because I've never actually had reoccurring animal characters in anything. I only have people characters. I will probably develop them a little bit just because I really love how they looked. Also, if any of you watching have any ideas for like fox names, go ahead and leave them in the comments. But if I decide preemptively to name them myself, I will try to use the names in something else. Just feel free to leave comments about it. And for the future, I have not one, not two, I have 2 more videos coming out that I am already working on. Do not worry. And like I said at the beginning, hopefully I don't get dragged into the abyss again. I will be back. Thank you so much for watching again. Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell for more notifications. Bye!